Oh, that rice is good. Who needs meat?
We're live. Oh wow! Hello and welcome
Like,
to Pirate Radio, guys.
we give a meat
This
line.
has gone really smoothly as per usual. We're 20 minutes late as per usual as well. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. But we are back for episode, I don't know, 12? I'm taking a random number out of my head at the moment. It might be 13. I don't know, actually.
Might be 50. We might be at our half century. Let's celebrate by opening the beer.
So, welcome back yet again. I'm Greg. As per usual, I'm joined by Cadus.
Oi, oi.
And Commander X.
Hiya.
Later this evening, we might actually get a special guest. It's ESCA we're talking here. We could have got an interview with one of the winners of the LAN from Classic Mix-Up. Ooh.
Harblue, TLR, maybe even like Banny. What a carrier. But instead, we got Clockwork, you know, like wooden spoon, but wooden spoons are still useful.
Hang on a minute. I just want to point out something wrong with your wooden spoon. Wooden spoon is for the team that came last. They did not come last, all right?
Yeah.
Come on. Let them off a little bit. Right, but anyway, let's just move on to the other gossip and stuff. ESCA is going to go last in this evening, so all you Europeans don't have to listen, because I know a lot of you don't give a shit. Anyway, let's dive into the gossip, and I think I haven't even talked to Xavi about which order we're going to do everything in, but let's start with tryharders. I think that's probably
fine because I wasn't listening. So,
awesome. Right, so you go for it. You go for it.
The gossip is Erectus is quitting at the end of the season to focus on school, because obviously Israeli school is so hard once you reach the age of, what is he, like 18? You know,
15?
like so. it's so hard because, as we all know, as being like 20 odd ourselves, once it gets to an age, you have to focus so hard on university to pass, and there's no time to dick around playing video games.
It's not like we all stay up. We're all at uni, and we don't stay up till like 3 a.m. at all playing TF2 ever, do we? Like,
I actively look for stuff to do, and that isn't my dissertation. Like, I take up mentoring people instead of doing my dissertation.
I don't think Erectus wants to be a journalist, though, so I'm not sure that's going to...
It's a hard run, mate. Don't mock me. Don't mock me.
Also, on top of that, because you haven't got it written down here, Longas doesn't want to finish. He wants to leave at the end of the season anyway, I think. So,
shocker.
So
I think the real news here, just saying, I think the real news here is that they're not folding. Like, the fact they're actually going to stay together is the news rather than like, going to fold. In Villager, everyone was aware they were going to fold. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah, so they're going to finish out the season, play out all their officials, and
Which
not
is
play
fair
anything
play to
more
them.
than that, I don't think. So, they might play some PCWs, I guess so.
Longest was looking at PCW's Wednesday, but I don't know if that was just a warm-up.
Actually, yeah, take that back. They're playing us tomorrow, so yeah, they must be playing, just wanting to finish out the season properly rather than just totally folding the likes of another team, which we'll talk about later. Apparently, I've just been told by Mineral that we're not playing tomorrow, and they're our warm-up game for our official. Yay! Thank you.
You don't need to warm up for officials. It's one of those urban myths.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, we need a warm-up game for our official as well tomorrow. Perhaps we can warm each other up.
Should we just go on a DM server, all 12 of us? Well, that way.
Well, do you want me to cast it? Because I don't have a team anymore, so I can cast you guys warming up and into the official. So we've all got plans for tomorrow now. Brilliant.
Excellent news.
Yeah, so that's pretty much
Weight
that
off
news.
my mind.
Let's bring in the next big news, which was... I don't know how big of a news this is. Zebo PM'd me earlier saying, I've got big news! And then said to me, hang on a minute, you're doing ESCA this week. I don't want to give you that news yet. No, I'll let you have it next week instead. So he gave me a little bit of news, just a small amount, for some reason, which is the fact that their team, Carnage, are only playing officials. They're not playing any PCWs at all. They're just playing out the season, and they're not entering Excello either. So that means we only have 4 Prem teams left, other than for officials. Yes! Boom! How great. I'm getting spammed by someone on Steam. So I'm pretty useless, that. Like, does that mean that there's going to be a new team formed out of, like, remnants of the others? Zebo, Longas, stuff like that. Maybe even Linus gets replaced. No, I joke, of course. Maybe I'll get replaced.
Nice
Sorted.
rockets. Yeah, definitely. I mean, so many people available, like, Quad. Get Quad in for you. Quad could retake his place in Infused, and you could be back on the bench.
Oh, Brilliant, hey? Brilliant. Well, let's move on from that, shall we? As per usual, as soon as something like that comes up, I'll swiftly move on. Yeah, that's pretty much
Smooth
the
transition.
biggest part of our gossip this week. We have some other gossip.
Just want
The
to throw
old,
out some speculation. Like, if
Yeah.
Longus is staying in the game, do you see him going to TCM if this TCM roster happens?
yeah,
What about
Yes.
Zebasay?
I don't know. I doubt it.
You doubt it? What about Anti back to TCM, but maybe on demo this time?
And
No way.
No
No.
way.
There is no way Byte's playing with Anti again.
Oh yeah? Byte's
Yeah,
playing with Anti or Anti playing with Byte?
but both.
Really? It was that bad?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, that's rumors that I've heard.
This is the
I'd
place,
like to-
Greg. If there's a place for rumors.
Yeah, like
I think you're in it.
This
I've-
is
I've-
this
I've
is the
talked-
rumor mill.
I've talked to Byte a little bit more about certain players, and then you know when we were like throwing names about for TCM, and I went to him again and I threw some names at him, and he didn't say yes to people, but for some people he said definite no's. So
Okay.
there you go, and that was one of the names that he threw back at me.
Well,
So
throwing names around, like I've seen Penna start to pick up
yeah,
occasionally, and apparently he's playing a mixed team with Excello, and obviously, I mean Penna was kind of cut from TCM when they cut who did they cut? Anti Flisco and
they cut Penna and Flisco.
Penna. Yeah,
They cut Penna and Flisco, and then they kept Anti in for a bit, didn't they?
But I always thought
and they
Penna was a
restarted
top
the
soldier. Like
Yeah.
I thought that cut was very harsh.
I agree. Like, me and Cadis went to Winter Assembly with him, and he was awesome there. He was great fun as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, man. His hair, or lack thereof.
Also, in that community photo, like the biggest community photo in TF2, him just standing 5 yards to the right of the massive group of like 200 people is brilliant. Well, I want to see if I can find that. Carry on talking while I find that photo for our IRC.
So, who else was in that team? Taimu? Do you reckon Byte will play with Taimu?
That's
No.
match made in heaven, man. Can you just imagine like Byte on demo, Tamu on medic? Just imagine that pocket soldier, that poor pocket soldier.
Zebo, get in there. Get in there right now, mate.
Go on, boy. It's your fucking team.
Stannis is back. Maybe a big Spanish scout pairing. Longas Stannis.
If I do know that if Byte doesn't have Longus in his sights, I know that Ty is 50-50 on making a new team next season. And when I was just casually discussing it with him, I said if you could pick any scout, like obviously outside of Epsilon and Infuse, any scout to go on that team, who would you take? He said Longus. So could be a little romance brewing there.
Yeah. I think we'll probably have more news like of this next week. Zebo just PM'd me saying you are so close to the big gossip. So
Well, from what I know,
Ooh.
I don't think Stannis wants to play with Longus in general.
really,
If that changes, if it's like a proper big lineup, like huge names, and whether people are swayed by the chance of success, I don't think Stannis and Longus are an ideal pairing for each other.
You see, Longus is actually a cunt. He just doesn't know the right words in English to express it.
What is it? I hear this with other people. When people say that guy's such a cunt, and I'm like, he doesn't seem that bad. It's like, yeah, and that's because he's actually like German or Italian or something, so he doesn't know the words to rage enough in English. But if you play like a all German or Italian mix, he's a complete arsehole. It's like, really? Oh, damn, what a badass.
Zebo's PMing me now saying that he's the man behind Pirate Radio. Lots of our gossip comes through him, so I thought I'd give him a shout out because this week he's given us a little bit. Last week I think he gave us a little bit. There you go, Zebo. Congratulations, mate. You get your shout out.
You've sure made it.
Yeah, you sure made it. That's just what you want to be. Be known as the man behind Pirate Radio.
The guy quite not good enough to get onto this elite casting roster that we have.
Hey,
Well
hey.
played.
We might be cutting you soon, Zavi. Don't worry.
Fuck. Egg on my face if I do get cut after that comment.
Alright, let's move on to Blast, the old Blast team. So they got screwed over by them at LAN, the Interland. They didn't give them money for a hotel, so they quit the org and became Punchline. But Blast have picked up a new team, which is the other Div 1 French team, Giraffe. So I'd say if Giraffe wanted a free server, that's a good decision. But if they wanted anything more, then no, it's not a good decision. So there we go. I don't know if you guys want to add anything more to that.
No, I don't really know anything about either of them. But did Blast give them any money, or did they only ever plan to play for the hotel?
I think
Just the
Blast
hotel.
planned the Blast team was said we'll give you like some. It was either like tickets and a hotel or some form of combination and ticket. You know, like they paid for their own transport. But then Blast didn't come up with the money at all.
All right.
And it was just kind of like, well, good thing you won land to pay for your stuff that you thought you were getting for free. Then I guess, but
Yeah.
still kind of middle finger really.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that, but
That's not cool.
yeah.
Well, that's that news. There is another team news pickup. Do you want to go into that one, Zabby? Because I don't know anything about.
Yes, Ultraviolet Gaming are picking up Last Man Standing, and it's all the the general support of Mumble on a server, and there's also whisperings of maybe like support for Amsterdam, because as far as land support goes, they don't see a point of like if they sponsor them to go to Russian lands. There's not going to be a lot of exposure there, but obviously Battle of Amsterdam is going to be a lot of exposure for TF2 compared to other lands. So there's maybe whisperings of something about that.
Oh, that's pretty good. But then if Blast refused to pay something before or didn't pay something before,
No,
can
we're
we
talking
trust
about
them?
Ultraviolet.
Oh, Ultraviolet. Sorry, yeah, my bad. I was too busy
Yeah.
reading a chat conversation.
But
did-
it's still kind of a long shot whisperings kind of thing, and obviously it would rely on the Russians being available in terms of studying work and paying some of it themselves. So we'll see how it goes.
Like, I want to go into something which you can never trust anything like that at all. There's so many orgs that are like that sort of level orgs, you know, the lower level that you don't expect to pay anything. Might go, oh, there's whisperings of us paying for you to go to this event. Oh, if you do well at this event, we might give you something at the next event. And the keyword is might, because they never do. It's not worth really, you know, joining an org on those maybes. Like, it's happened throughout esports for so long. And you got to just get used to it. I mean, did
Esports is rife
Ultraviolet,
with it.
yeah, did Ultraviolet Gaming give anything to the other teams? I think they gave them a server. Was
No,
that
but
it?
they never said they would though.
They've again like there's no problem. Like the support is server and Mumble based. It's just it's one of those, you know, it's like I don't know what the word is like. It's a really hard, you can't define the term. It's a we might give you, we very might, you know, like LMS are very aware that it's a kind of long shot that they get any support for that. Like, it's
Well,
not.
if they haven't joined them on the might, if you know they had a couple of people they were going to join, or they got approached and they decided to take it, then that's fine. But if they've joined them because two orgs have offered them something and one of them says, "Oh, we might give something," okay.
Like, I'm doing some like work for UV at the moment, and they've not joined on the basis of land support. They've joined on the basis of they want an org to support them, and UV were the best at the time.
Just to clear up any maybe misconceptions lingering from the old UV, like the Skeege and Koss and Dork UV. Some people think that they promised them land support and they never paid out, but as far as I'm aware, the deal was the TF2 team, UV would monitor how the TF2 team developed, and then they would discuss the idea of land support at a later date based on that improvement. And UV never lasted that long. Basically, the only land they did attend was with a mixed team. So it's not actually that they said might and then was like, nah, we're not actually going to give you anything. I think it's more a case of they never blossomed into what UV had hoped they would. I'm not necessarily saying that if they'd improved they would have got land support, but I'm just saying that yeah, basically they did. I don't see that as a bad.
IRC saying that that's not true, and considering IRC is that it's players from that team.
Well, this is just based on reading that thread. Well, yeah, they were going up and up Skeege, but then you went to a LAN with a mixed team, basically. So, you know,
I completely understand UV not wanting to sponsor a
like, and as a Crasto, whatever his name is, he stated on the site that was basically they were going through a down period. Then, like, self-admittedly. So, like, I'm not saying, like I say, I'm not saying they're going to pay out because that's the reason they didn't before. I'm just saying there's no reason to blame them for not paying out that time because they never, like, even suggested they were going to pay out for I-43. Was it I-43? Fuck it. Yeah, I-43.
Yeah, I think it was. That's fair enough. Keep talking, or do you want to go on to the next topic? I just got a Skype clockwork.
Well,
you guys talk about the next topic, I think.
What is the next topic?
pretty big news actually. I think it's probably the biggest news.
Are we talking Epsilon news?
Yeah, talking Epsilon news.
Are we talking apparently post this season? Gear is quitting, leaving the game, etc., etc., and they are currently working on a long-term replacement. So obviously, Gear's a big part of Epsilon. You know, like one of the best roamers in Europe. I mean, can you think of anyone who can replace him, Cadus?
At this point, no one honestly springs to mind, but I don't claim to be the most informed of, like, you know, up and coming. Like, looking at, you know, current Prem soldiers, there's only one person who stands out for me, and that is Zebasay. But literally beyond Zebasay, there's no one that, like, Leon's pointing at himself. Have you not heard the phrase "the Leon"? Are you crazy, boy?
Leon merked for Epsilon the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Has Leon not heard of the Leon pulling a Leon yet?
Let's not break this to him live on stream. It's too heartbreaking.
but I want to.
A few people have said in chat Mitzi, and that is where my money is, if anyone, because Mitzi is a pretty sick gamer, and he's good friends with Nox, and he's merked for Epsilon before.
I doubt it. I think you don't know, but I know Slick pretty well, and he's a smooth talker, and he'll bring one of the Finns back, and that's that. That's what I expect, and I'd probably put money on it as well.
Zevasai just PM'd me that he's merked for them as well. So
lots of players have merked for them, and
I was going to say, like, Santa merks for them all the time, but Santa's never.
Well, to be honest with you, Santa's probably another person that they will probably pick up instead of a Finn. I've talked to Slick, and he always says to me he thinks Santa's awesome whenever I've talked to him about, you know, that sort of thing.
Santa's a really smart player, and he would fit in that soldier role, if you know, like the aggressive soldier to create space for the demo kind of soldier. Like, he doesn't mind playing that role at all. Whereas, you know, when some soldiers are very, like, anti-bomb friendly, they'd rather have a bit more of the healers and a bit more of the Uber.
Yeah, well, it's probably be Santa. I don't know of anybody else that springs to mind, really. I guess they, you know, scoping and talking to people, because don't forget, when this team was put together, they had quite a few different people in mind for every single spot before they eventually settled on what was going on.
Just to interject quickly, I think Evoke and others are yelling Hawks in ISE, which is a very good point, actually.
Yeah.
I can't really see him saying no, since he's still playing the game anyway, if they were to go over to him.
From what I've heard from Hox's camp is Hox has been approached with various team offers already, and he sort of said, I said I would play for MIPC in a season, therefore I'm playing for MIPC in a season. But it came across as a very, at the end of this season, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would say, you know, when I said Finns, you know, I was pointing at the Finns that kind of still play, you know, Hazard, Hawks. I doubt Pumpu would come back. But Hawks is probably the best shout from that lot. And if he's going to be a while before Gear drops, then, you know, if Hawks is, you know, it's not like it's an immediate change, is it? So they can
exactly, like Gear is finishing the season, so they have time to trial so many people, pick various people.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if Shintaz came back in as soldier somehow. Like, I don't think that team would enjoy playing with Shintaz on soldier, but fucking Slick loves that boy. That it wouldn't surprise me if he came in. So
I think Nox would be too happy about that.
Nox wouldn't be. He wouldn't be smoking a victory blunt over that.
But of course, like, one more thing about that team is, like, who are they taking to Gamers Assembly as scout? Does anybody know? Are they taking Bash?
I heard two things. I heard that they were going to either take Bash, or I've also heard some bullshit that sounded, well, I say bullshit, it sounded like bullshit to me. But someone, I can't remember who, was adamant that it was the case, that Gear was going to play Scout and they were getting some other soldier. But to me, it just screams bullshit.
Okay. Well, possibility, I guess, of bringing in the new soldier for show.
I got a bunch of Germans messaging me, assuring me that it's Bash.
Okay.
Really?
And they're German, so they know.
Because to me, the logical thing would, in terms of logistics, would be Mitzi to come in, because
So that's the
Mitzi's-
logistics. The Germans, Stefan and Gio are
Because-
traveling anyway.
Yeah, but from what I heard, there's some sort of crazy Belgian-French road trip going on where they pick up a couple of people on the way, and therefore Mitzi being Belgium would be picked up anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think
Right.
Epsilon are the team to work with logistics. You know, they're in it to win it. Basically, they're one of the few
I
teams
dunno.
left that can actually, you know.
Slick's a logistics man, and like the reason they're picking Gamers Assembly is because it's in France and not iSeries.
Well, yeah,
it's not
naturally.
the UK.
But I mean, if they
that's
were
why.
if they were going to send a German anyway, no, sorry, a
That's-
Swede for fuck's sake, like it was who they should have gone. They can obviously get +1 German,
Yeah.
and it's still like such an obvious choice. Like there's probably no better choice than Bash. Like if they had unlimited money and like any player they could pick.
Yeah.
Because the Team Stefan? Sorry guys, Team Germany. it's the same fucking thing. It's not yeah, it's Team Germany Scout combo, you know, German community, well, they cut like the 4 or 5 players of the top German community and they all know each other well, so I can't really think of a better choice.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I was just wondering, you know, sort of thing that they might have to look at a soldier that maybe works with another soldier, a scout that comes in for LAN, just purely because, like, obviously Walters won't be attending any of the LANs. That, you know, if they plan ahead and grab a soldier that works well with like the scout going to LAN as well, then it would work pretty well for them. Yeah, well, I said it like 8 times.
Well then,
Yeah, let's move on.
Well-
What we're going to go on to next, I think we've exhausted the Epsilon discussion. We got one more bit of news about a new team. Kind of folds the team that Connor tried to PM me the other week about trying to get, like, say on a Pirate Radio. There was a reason I didn't say it on Pirate Radio, and this is pretty much it. It's already folded that one, and now we've got a new team. It's just like a reform, a new exotic. Do you want to go into it, Zabby?
I was really confused for a second when you said another piece of news. I was like opening my notepad, like, what the fuck? Oh right, yeah, that. Yes, of course. I know what's going on.
like we have notepads and we're
Basically.
so professional.
Notepad is the extension of our professionalism.
Professionalism, yes.
There we go.
lism.
So recovered it. As far as I can remember, it's Gubbins and Sambazy on Scout, Phytech on Demo. You might have to jump in and help me here.
Evok on soldier and
Tokens.
SI on medic. I need another soldier.
There we go. Yes.
Great.
I assume based on your nonchalance that you are no longer the manager for Exotic.
I know work for UV exclusively.
Oh, I see.
They signed the massive transfer fee to get my managerial
Moving
prowess.
on up. Does that mean you can afford more than rice this week?
No. But my housemate agreed to buy me some beer today, so.
Good
So
times.
I'm still working with what I have. You know, I'm making it work.
Maybe we should talk about this team rather than talk about your dietary plans.
Call it a
So
low protein diet.
I don't even. Phytech re-emerges. Apparently, I'm not allowed to ridicule him because he's PMK to tell me not to. Yeah.
Well, are you,
I-
are you
I-
trying
I
to
did
say you're
not.
Cadus's bitch, Greg? Isn't that what you're trying to say then?
No.
Oh, if Cadus
No, I was
says
just-
I can't ridicule him.
Yeah, I was just laughing at the fact that he tried to stop it. Yeah. What? Phytech is a Div 1 since when? Has he even played TF2 in like 8 months? When I don't
Hey,
even
Matt.
remember the last time I saw him.
The days of Hack Limit 2, that works out so well for everybody, right? Right? we all agree that worked out as a good venture.
Didn't he sit there raging at everybody?
No, basically, stuff would
Screaming
happen.
down the mic.
Me and Phytech would shout at each other for about 20 minutes. Then everyone would rage quit like, I've had enough of this. That was basically what Hack Limit 2 was, and that was the last time he played TF2 at a competitive level, I believe. Not including this thing with Jukebox and Connor in Div whatever.
Dunno, yeah, like pretty weird, pretty strange that he's teamed up with some of these players. Evok, you know, we've always talked about Evok. He's a bit one-dimensional as a soldier. Their best player, you know, is pretty obviously their best player is a bit of Sam. I like him on Scout, to be honest. So Sam, I'm not going to ridicule you. There you go. Sam's their best player. He shouldn't be playing with those players, but I guess if there's no teams around. Gubbins, I still don't think he's a scout. I still think he's better at Devilman and Soldier than he is scout. And I don't understand why he plays scout all the time.
He hits a lot of directs.
Yeah, he's like a really good soldier and a half decent Devilman, and he's better on those two classes than he is on scout. But well, he seems to want to go scout, which is the same scout partnership as in the old exotic lineup, which I don't know if it works. I guess they were pretty good fun, like to work together those two, but bit similar.
They enjoyed scouting with each other.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise to see them re-pairing up as scout.
Definitely, but I think they're probably a bit similar as scout to work together properly. I don't know. Have to wait and see. Really, the old exotic didn't really get a proper chance to happen before it kind of died. Who can they get in a soldier? They need another soldier, and I don't really know anybody else around at the moment. No, there's no more Woody for me to push onto teams, so there's no, if you want,
who's the one soldier? Sorry,
Evokje.
Evokje. Apparently, it's Hox and Hazard. I'm being told. Yeah, man.
Replacing Evok.
Yeah, that sounds feasible.
Sounds about right,
I would then cut the other half
gonna
of the
enjoy
roster as
playing
well and just
just remake the old
power lineup. Which I think we should change demo. I think that should be it. Maybe we should change medic as well while we're at it, and one up the scouts. While we're changing people.
So yes, that's probably the highest skill team that Sai's actually been in. I would say. I don't know. He used to be in that old DSTM lineup, and other than that, he hasn't played TF2 for a long time.
Don't you the medic were like Div 1 for about a week before they folded, so it's kind of his first proper chance at that level.
Yeah, but that was Div 1 in the season when Div 1 was bad, wasn't that?
Wasn't
that the season when like no one entered?
Trying to think of a season.
It was possibly the week after. It was season after, actually, not the week after. The season after, so it might have been when Div 1 was actually good. So possibly should be good. That, to be honest.
And he's merked for the old exotic a couple of times when me and Sparkle were both busy or MIA.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we can move on from the gossip. We've actually taken like half an hour of a gossip this week somehow, and we got ESEA to fit in at the end. So let's move on. Let's go top 10. We're actually going into the topics now. There's only really a few bits I want to talk about the top 10. It's standard, pretty top 10 that you would think. And it's kind of just like some of the comments that people have said about it. All three of us are panelists. One of them was somebody saying, how do we rate Tryharders and Carnage above Div 1 teams that have won games? And I'll answer
really difficult.
Yeah, it's really tough. Like, and I gave a comment afterwards saying as to why I believe that, but like, it's Tryharders and Carnage are losing to the 3 best teams in Europe, 4 best teams in Europe, because they lost to Yotech, and Yotech beat Crackclan earlier, but let's bring that up later. So they lost to the 4 best teams in Europe, okay? And the Div 1 teams are beating, the 10th to the 15th place. And there is such a big skill gap between those teams that, I'm sorry, but losing to the Prem teams, even getting rolled by the Prem teams in like 8 minutes, is still better than beating some poor Div 1 team.
I think it's one of those things where it's really hard to justify your decision because there's no results to base it on. Like, there's no hard evidence to say, look, Carnage beat Quarantine, Carnage beat Deserto, and therefore Carnage are better. There's no hard evidence, so you just kind of have to. You just know because
go with your gut, and a lot of us PCW against those teams. That's kind of the reason you go with it. If there's no officials between teams, you kind of have to go with what you think PCWs are going to be, and like us in Infused have a more a harder time against Carnage and Tryharders than we do against Div 1 teams. So
it's a bit like the when we do the end of season player of the season award and all that kind of stuff. It's the same concept as that, where you can't vote for Div 1 players because they have a much easier go at it than everyone else, because the Prem teams are just a lot harder. It's a lot harder to perform well, and like we had a big like hour-long fest on this topic before, where it's just there's no comparison. There's no means by which you compare it at all.
Yeah, well said. And like until we actually get some games, which we might do in Excello. But if two teams aren't even playing, that's a bit disappointing. But well, anyway, the other thing was the thing that a lot of people called Xavi up on say like on him calling quarantine up. I'll talk about this and let Xavi talk afterwards, actually, because I didn't see the game, right? I just read what Xavi said, and I read what a few people said about the golden cap and heard a bit about it. And like, if you're on, fair enough. So you're in a golden cap situation, you want to win, okay? You win middle, both medics go down, you start building at middle. You've got to at least look to try and get a pick. You can't just sit there on the crate. So fair enough, you can, but this is why I don't like the whole hold middle thing. But I just don't think you can at all. Like, and your soldiers are playing really defensively on the crates. Okay, it's fine, right? I don't care about that, right? So the Ubers get built. You wait a couple of 30 seconds for the defensive team, right? And they've not done anything. They have the time. So the defensive team, I don't even remember who it is. Who was it? ISIS. Have the time to send one of their scouts back to spawn, to swap to spy, to then walk back to middle and backstab your medic. And in that amount of time, you haven't even tried to push or find out if there were 2 scouts to kill them and go and push in and win the round. Like, how? If they've sent a scout back, that is the easiest push in the world. Their demo man has to go and reload. You've got more ammo at middle to your disposal. You can push in. You can send a bombing soldier in. It looks like they're not going to push you. Just send a bombing soldier in. Now you've got 5v6. You might get the Uber out. They probably won't push 5v6 either. Like, there's so many different things you can do. It doesn't seem like you can do, but I'm sorry, but if you can let the other team go back and swap one of their scouts to spy before you've pushed,
and get behind you and backstab your medic in overtime.
Oh well, that's just my 2 cents on it. It's because it's like you can sit there on middle for the whole time, but you got to try and do something. But it doesn't sound like you did. Like, if they have a spy, there's no way in hell you try to. But Ips is still arguing with me over it.
Ips will always argue because
I guess he still has a different viewpoint on it, but I don't. I'm sorry. So. Anyway, go. Cadis, do you have anything to add more about the top 10 or about that issue specifically? He's not even there, is he? No,
well, yeah, I had myself muted, my bad.
Oh, okay.
No, as I say, I'll admit this one's completely slipped off my radar. I haven't actually heard anything about it until you brought it up before we went live. If it's like Greg says it is, then yeah, that's as bad as gay as it gets. But I haven't seen it, so. It really depends. But to be honest, I don't entirely blame quarantine because the playoff rule has been fucking retarded for a long time.
Yeah.
I've had a million rants about this.
Me and Steve talked about this, where it was it just favours such a turtling defensive style.
Yeah. It's just retarded because it's trying to be like another round, like a real round, but it's just not. You play completely differently. I was always in favour of saying the first person to cap mid is the team that wins, and that could be after a 10-minute golden cap. You just have a quick 30-second fight, whoever caps mid. Because the holding the mid rule is just fucking retarded, because it basically can come down to who wins mid still, which is what I'm suggesting. Apart from you have a completely fucked up game for 10 minutes before that, because I just don't get it. Because you're standing there, you're holding the mid, and then so basically you push and you risk losing everything, or you don't push and you force the other team to lose everything. So it basically comes down to who caps mid anyway, assuming everything just maintains its basic thing. But it doesn't. I just don't understand why it's considered the best way to do it. If you insist on it, then have a mid fight afterwards to decide who wins, not who's holding mid at the time, because who's holding mid at the time has no bearing on who's performed best for that round. It only tells you either who has mid at the time after a back and forth game, or who capped mid at the mid fight. So why not just let it come down to that anyway?
What Crosp is listening and suggesting something in chat. What Cadus is actually suggesting, okay, is having your 10-minute golden cap round, right? But scrapping the whole at the end of 10 minutes. The team that wins has middle wins. You just then restart and have another middle fight. Whoever wins that middle fight afterwards, after the golden cap, wins. Rather than having this whole having to hold middle win thing. But let's move on. Ips has now complained that we're talking about it and we shouldn't be. Don't fucking argue about it in the comments then, Ips. Like, that's why we're talking about it, because you said that. I wouldn't have even cared if you hadn't said that. But well, let's keep going. What else was in the top 10? Don't think much else. LMS, yeah, good month, to be honest. Until I went through and had a look at the results, I didn't even notice, in all honesty. But going and winning, being 6-0, that's pretty good for them. Like, really, really good, to be honest. And that's why they're there. Punchline, of course, getting a LAN win definitely, boosted them in my books and a few other people's as well. And that's kind of why they're up in the top 10. Quarantine, unfortunately, only 10th. They had a few poor officials, unluckily. And that's about it, really. Anything else you guys want to add? Nope. Okay, let's move on to the next games of the week. Games of the last week first. Go for it, Zavi.
Hold on, let me respond to the faggot.
Okay. Well,
I had to take a 30-second breather. Sorry, can you just back up a little bit? What did we just go over?
Top 10.
The top 10. I just want to reiterate, tryharders minus 24 rounds over the month. Well played.
Yeah.
I found that particularly funny.
I remember when we were mumbling, you pointed that out to me. We both just sat there laughing for a couple of minutes. That was good. Anything else? Don't think so, really.
CX is frantically arguing his case still. Get off it, CX. It's not that big deal, bro.
I'm just saying,
live,
if
we're
he's
live.
not his point.
Blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah. No one cares.
TF2L, last week's results, there were 2 games. Both of them from my team. We beat Tryharders 5-0 4-2, beat Carnage 5-0 5-0. Tryharders. Oh, in fact, before we go into this, before we delve a bit further into this, I want to talk about Dunk's article very quickly. I know I didn't write it in here, and I kind of want to talk about it quickly.
Don't worry, guys. It's not enough.
Yeah. It kind of relates to one of these games, right? And like Dunk's article, people have been saying in chat like pessimistic and stuff, and and he is just writing the first article based on his own experience through Prem before, Div 1 before, the games we were practicing and the current games we practice now, and he is going to suggest stuff in the next articles of what we can do. Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom.
It's one of 3. It's the first part.
Yeah, exactly. And then I just want to reiterate something that he's put in it. We had an official against Tryharders on last Tuesday, okay? Tryharders PM me on Sunday trying to sort it out because we just wanted to get it played anyway. And we got it organised, and we couldn't get a warm-up game in 3 days, 2 days, however long it took. I think we might have organised it on Saturday. In 3 days, we couldn't get a warm-up game for 20 on Tuesday. Like, that's the state of what it is in Prem at the moment. Like, which is a bit disappointing, to be honest. But oh well, we went into it cold and still beat Tryharders 5-0 4-2. Carnage game, we actually managed to get a PCW beforehand. Thank you to Yo-Yo Tech for actually giving us some PCWs, and then we went in and beat Carnage 5-0 5-0. Yeah. Apparently we're kind of boring to play against. Yeah, I know, Zebo. I think we beat you on Granary 9-0 the other day, didn't we? 2 15-minute games.
Yawn.
So, yeah. So that's pretty boring, isn't it? Then that was it. Does anyone want to comment on those 2 games? Didn't really much happen. I guess Tryharders 4-2 is kind of something you can talk about.
You won. Well done.
Thanks, man.
Still heading for that second place you always dreamt of.
Oh, yes.
Greg, you're gonna make the playoffs, Greg. You're gonna do it this year. You're gonna make the playoffs.
One thing I do want to just point out quickly, after those 2 games, we were top of the tables, number 1, for a little bit. We saw that big first place.
Take a screenshot and show your parents.
And then actually a game earlier today, which is probably worth talking about, to be honest, isn't it, Kalis? So, do you want to go into it, Zavi, first off, kick off? Because you
it's worth a mention. Yeah, me and Leon casted it, and after the opening map was Badlands, and Yayotek took the lead 4 times to be tied back up before it went to a golden cap, and Cracklan eventually won. Then we go over to Gravel Pit, and Yayotek basically just outclassed Cracklan completely and won 2-0.
Yeah, I watched the Gravel Pit game, and God, Crackland seems to have no idea how to play Gravel Pit, is what it felt like. But obviously, Yo-Yo Tech were putting off their game, so well played to them. Cadus a big part of that. He joins us, of course, so I don't know how much he wants to talk about it. He probably wants to talk about it quite a lot, being the underdogs. When it's an underdog story, you kind of want to talk about those games quite a lot, but when it's like, you just standard victory, you don't really care. So go on, Cadus, go for it.
I don't know, man. There's not much to say. Like we always knew we could cause upsets. Whoa! What the fuck? Did I just lag out?
No?
What the hell? Someone's been having like a vzz the whole time and it just stopped. Thought I lagged out. Anyway, it's all good. But yeah, we always thought we could cause upsets, especially with G-Pit in the mix. But even on like any map, Badlands, Gollywash, whatever it is, we always said that we were, we knew we could do it. But like we went into the game, and when it came down to a golden cap, even though we'd thrown away the lead about 4 times, if you said correctly, 4 times.
Did you pull an infused?
Not so much, because we didn't really care about winning, if you know what I mean. We were at the point where it went to a golden cap. I just said on the comms, alright, well done lads, we've done it basically. That's all we were really here to do. So anything from then on out was just a bonus basically.
Cool.
And I don't know. I heard some like whispers of CC excuses like wow, we didn't play Gravel Pit against real opponents, so neither did we. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I don't think it really comes into it.
And one of the excuses, that excuse that CC threw out, they refused to play us last week, so it's their own fault if they, don't get proper games, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Apparently they didn't bother to practice any of these maps. They even refused to play Infused because they were only going to practice the maps that had Infused on. So I don't know. Not because I was involved, but I just think they got what they deserve, basically.
Yeah, well played, to be honest. Like, it can always happen with Crackland. They have to be on form, and as Xavi even said, in the cast, the aftercast sort of thing, when he did the interview with you, he said Crackland are always better when they're the underdogs, and it's true.
Yeah.
When they're expected to win, I think they find it hard. But
Yeah,
every team
I'd
does
say
sometimes. So. Yeah. But that's a good result for you then. That kind of guarantees. Does that not guarantee you 4th spot? Or do you have to? I think you have to win a map to guarantee you 4th spot with that, don't you? Again, another map. I think you have to win one more map and you guarantee 4th spot, Cadus, there. So should be looking good.
I think it also comes down to if, like, for example, say Carnage were to lose to Tryharders, then I think we'd be 4th.
Okay.
But it comes down to that game, and then after that, we just got to get like a map or something, and we still got Carnage to play, so hopefully we should get that 4th spot.
Awesome. That's cool. Well, why don't we just talk about the rest of the games, coming up this week, which are already planned. Infused versus Yo-Yo Tech tomorrow. And with Yo-Yo Tech looking good on Gravel Pit today, we have them on Gravel Pit, so possibly looking forward to a good map there. And then Gully Wash, which we're looking awful on at the moment as well, so possibly should be a good 2 maps, to be honest. How are you thinking about going into before you go into that game, Cadus? Expecting an upset on a map, or pulling up a 2-map win, or what? Or is he not even there? Cadus. Okay. Is he muted again? Cadus, you might be muted.
I think Cadus has pressed his mute button. Cadus
I think he just typed to me on IRC rather than on Steam. He said "be right back," and Xavi, when he goes "be right back," tells me on Steam. So I was asking Cadus, and he's not even there. So Xavi, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? You hoping for a Yo-Yo Tech upset on a map or 2, or?
Well, it is Gully Wash, and Yo-Yo Tech are good at Gully Wash. So if anything upset is going to happen, it's going to be there. But saying that, Gravel Pit is so 50-50 a lot of the time. Like, it's so easy to get it's the easiest map to get an upset on. So you're going to have to be on your game to get your result.
Yeah.
I'm back.
What about you, Cadus? What do you feel about tomorrow? The Infused. Yeah.
I wish we hadn't just played CC on G-Pit today, that's for sure.
Okay.
Because it's one of those maps where if you know what the opponent's going to do, you got a huge advantage on them. But I don't know, I guess we'll just come up with some new stuff to switch it up and hopefully scrape something. I mean, I know Infuse suck on Gully Wash, so maybe we'll get something there. You never know. But yeah, sorry, you don't suck on Gully Wash. You're awful at Gully Wash, just terrible. But
yeah, I did say that just before that. I said G-Pit's pretty random, and we're awful at Gully Wash at the moment. So
alright, yeah,
it should be cool.
Roll the dice.
I know that the last time we PCW Gully Wash, it was just like a really close game, if I recall. So
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be good, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it could go. I think it'll either be really close or we're just gonna get shit on. Like I think if Fused are a team, you never really know how it's gonna go. Never
That's
quite
very
sure.
true. Very, very true. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. To be honest, it should be cool to get it out of the way, and then we'll only have one more to play. You've obviously got two more games to play after that, which is one of them's on the Thursday, which is Yo-Yo Tech versus
Carnage.
Carnage. Yes. How are you looking to go? Looking forward to that game, sort of thing, or how are you looking to go into that?
I hope Anti plays demo because we PCW them with Zebasay on demo, and they were the best they've been for about 2 months.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Anti, but I don't know what it was. I mean, I didn't even realise that Zebasay was playing demo until about 15 minutes into the second map of the PCW. So yeah, but they'd been like the strongest they'd been for a while, to be honest. Like they weren't playing seriously at all; they were just going for it. So I don't know. If they just go for it, then it's going to be a close game. But if they play it how they've played every other time, apart from that one day, then I'm pretty confident.
I was gonna say, like, when you kind of take the decision not to, just play the officials out and stuff, going for it is probably what they're gonna do. So you're gonna like have to think about, being prepared to like for quad just to run in and not care. Be
Yeah, I think
prepared
it's going to be
for.
a real scrap, to be honest.
Yeah, what maps is that?
It's Freight and Granary. It's going to be a
Oh,
bit
the
of
two
a.
slow maps. They're the maps we have CC on. Like,
Mm.
that probably play into your hands, I have to say, because of the fact that the team, a team that's just running in and not trying
They're
to
gonna
not
be
playing as much as a
impatient,
team. Yeah, the likes of Gullywash or Badlands would probably like give them a little bit more of a
Freight.
benefit than Granary and Freight. And
Yeah,
especially
possibly.
when Freight is so, both of them are like the least scout critical maps. There's normally other classes that go get them major damage out. That minus, they're taking kind of eliminating quad out of the picture pretty easily. Benefits you guys, I'd say. But you have to wait and see. Should be a good game. Apparently, Crouton said that Zebra didn't demo the first map, so maybe Anti is half decent on Demo Man. And then, yeah, that's that map. What other maps is this week, Zavi? Do you know which week are we in? 6, isn't it now? Are we in week 6 or week
Let's go with
6? We're week 6.
6.
Yeah.
God knows,
So-
right? It's gravel pit and something. I
Yeah,
think
so that's the Gravel Pit Badlands week, I think. So that means we don't have a game. But predictions wise, oh wow. Well, we didn't even get a chance to predict the CC the CC Yo-Yo Tech game, which sucks a little bit because that would have been one of the upsets sort of thing. What did we predict anything like that? I don't think we did. What would you guys
I
have
don't think we did.
predicted going into
I
that? I
would
would
have
have.
predicted something like a 4-2 or a 5-1 to CC, is what
Okay.
I would have gone with. Holding my hands up, gotten that one wrong.
I probably would have either gone 6-0 or 3-all because of the fact that the map that I thought Yo-Yo Tech would have taken would have been Gravel Pit, and that doesn't have golden caps. So I probably would end up just going with a 6-0. So I'd have been completely wrong. Cadus, what do you reckon you'd have gone for with the CC game?
Until you said that, it reminded me that GPIT can't be won like on golden cap points. I would have said 5-1 probably.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe I would have made it 5-1 or 6-0. I would have gone for.
Okay. So there you have it. Like Yo-Yo Tech 1-4-2. So we would all probably have been wrong going and looking into that game. What is that? That's the only two games. Oh no, the other game, Zavi. Did you manage to find it while I was bullshitting?
The other game, what? Yo-Yo Tech versus Carnage on Thursday, or are we talking?
No, the week 6 game.
Week 6 there's Carnage versus Tryharders as well, which is going to be.
Okay.
I guess it's going to be kind of entertaining because both teams are kind of going to go for it without
And
really
it's Gravel
caring.
Pit Badlands.
Gravel Pit Badlands. So Badlands is just going to be like an all-out DM fest. And then Gravel Pit is, I could just see that being mistake after mistake, making it like it's going to be hard to predict because both teams will probably just make silly plays that they wouldn't normally, just because they're in that kind of dull. Well, what difference does it make? Kind of mindset.
Well, I'm gonna go 5-1 Tryharders.
Ooh,
That's the time who's gonna make the difference. His calls might be bad, but
If
at
time-
least I'll have calls.
if Tymo keeps his head, tryharders can win. Timu's good at gravel pit when he's sober and playing properly. Those are two big maybes. So
And
it's
when Longas actually wants to play. But I'm
If
going
Longas
5-1,
feels-
possibly
yeah.
6-0. There we go. What are you going to go, Savvy?
I'm gonna go 6-0. Tryharders.
6-0, 6-0 tryharders.
Don't get
Cadus?
drunk, Timu. Don't get drunk, Timu.
Fuck me, who are they playing?
Tryharders Carnage.
Tryharders.
Oh god, 3-3.
3-3. Okay.
But can I just specify 3-3? Oh no, it's G Pit. Are they playing G Pit?
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
G-Pit.
Oh, I was going to say Golden Cap win to each of them,
Okay.
but it's G Pit. So
Right.
it cannot be. I'll just stick with 3-3 anyway though, because I'm lazy to do the math.
Okay, well let's be quick here because we've got ESEA to talk about still, and we've already almost done an hour already. So Excello is the next thing. Right, first of all, we now only have 4 invites. Effectively, 4 of the
Okay,
Prem
wait.
teams are being invited.
Mini
so that-
announcement here, just to jump in. Last man standing have an invite. They are in the invite tournament. They don't have to play open. They are already
they're
in there.
guaranteed the invite. Okay, does that mean they're going to give another invite out?
I don't know because I presume this. I heard this earlier today from Forsaken, and I presume that was for tryharders invite because tryharders have always been very sure that they're not going to
Yes.
enter or play. But more recently, Carnage have said we're not going to play. So presumably they're going to give it out.
Yeah, they'll either give it out, or I suggested to Sonny when I talked to Sonny Black the other day that the top 2 teams would normally go through, but they have a playoff between the 3rd and 4th teams. The teams that both go out in the semi-finals have like a best of 3 playoff, and that winning team gets the last spot to play against Epsilon. I think
Which would be
personally,
very
I think that'd be really, really cool to have an extra game that actually means something. Because I mean, the 2 finalist teams, it doesn't mean anything to them, does it, to get through, the semi-finals of the big games. The final doesn't actually matter very
Just a
much.
shame
I
match.
think it would matter for them. I think it'd be. They'd probably be looking to say, yeah, we were the best
Pride,
team
yeah.
in the Open
Oh yeah, I
Cup.
suppose.
And I'm not going to fucking lie, I'd much rather play Infused than Epsilon. That's a fucking gold prize.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Also, while we're on the topic of Excello, can I just say Crasp? Where's the fucking announcement, bro?
Yeah, that's a
like,
very, very good point.
like one of the
Like,
key
it's
ways to get teams to play
tomorrow.
cups, man. On ETF2L, an announcement about the Excello Cup on the front page.
Like a lot of people
Admins think it won't help.
don't read vanilla.
Well, it's not your job, Crasp, but isn't it your job to make sure everyone else does their job? Just throwing it out there, I kind of thought that was what a head admin is supposed to do.
Whoa.
Okay, well, let's just move on because I want to bring in this ESEA talk anyway. Couple of teams. Let's just go through the couple of teams that Xavi's written down here that will be in the Open Cup. So LMS are already in, so I don't need to count them. Punchline, Oblast, Deserto, QN, Unexist, New Blast, ISIS, Oh My God It's, Trick 17. So all the top Div 2 and the Div 1 teams are all entering. This Evoc Gym Mix, which is...
I'm not sure how many of those players are confirmed or not, but Evoke,
Okay.
Penna, Bite, Samzy, Bones, and Droso is what I've got written down.
I would assume that this exotic team would enter instead, would you not? Oh, if not,
Samzy's playing for it, so told me he was playing for Evoke's mix. So
okay, well, if Evoke's Mix has
Make
now
of that
become
what you will.
exotic, then I guess it might not be, but we'll see. We'll see. That's pretty cool. Should be all good for tomorrow, isn't it? I don't even think Vanilla TV are on top of it. And that's a personal gripe. I'll leave that anyway. I'll talk to them in a bit.
me and
so-
Leon picking up the slack.
Yeah, we'll tune in somewhere. It will be on somewhere. Commander X and Leon might end up doing it. We'll have to wait and see. Or you can tune in and see Infuse versus Yo-Yo Tech, which hopefully will be casted. If not Commander X and Leon, maybe it will cast out, or they'll keep going with the Open Cup. We'll have to wait and see. Now, anyway, let's dive in. ESEA. I'm going to PM Clockwork. Hopefully he's still here. Please tell me he's still here.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, have we got a silver
bring
spoon?
him into the call.
Bring,
Bring him
bring.
into the call. Let's see how it goes. This is the first time we've brought in a guest in the middle of Pirate Radio. And we have them on at the beginning and get their stuff out of the way early. Hello, Clockwork, are you there?
I think so. Can you hear me?
I can hear Clockwork. Yes.
Alright.
All right, man. Welcome to Pirate Radio.
What's up?
I hear quite a lot of
A
buzzing.
lot of static. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a lot of static.
Really?
Like,
Bro,
yeah.
he's got to hoover his room. How else are we going to stay clean?
I don't know. I don't know how to fix that.
Oh, it's gone
No.
down now.
It's gone.
Alright.
Yeah,
There'll be
it's
an
gone.
aeroplane passed overhead. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I guess so.
So, do you want to give us a quick introduction of who you are for the people that don't know who you are, Clockwork?
I am I guess, top scout for Quantic Gaming in the U.S. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's it. Awesome.
Yeah,
Man of few
that's pretty
words.
much it. Yeah. I mean, what else am I? TF2 wise, you know,
Don't know.
that's all I really am.
Forum
Yeah.
enthusiast.
Pretty much. All right. Well, for those of you that don't know, the people on Pirate Radio, ESEA took place last weekend. Pretty awesome weekend, if I'm honest. Like, I casted most of it along with Eckstein and Griever. Brad stood in for me, who's pure for those of you at some points when I was too knackered. And then, of course, the Sea Bear, Sigma, and Bloodstar casted on another stream. So let's bring in Clockwork straight away. So how was it when you got to the event? How was it, Clockwork? You know, getting there on the Friday night, seeing all your teammates again. You've met them before at a previous LAN. Was it good to go and catch up with everybody?
Yeah, it was definitely good. I would say that the first day you get there, it's really just kind of a social night. You know, nobody really plays. Actually, when we got there, the LAN administrator, I guess, Torbil, said that we couldn't even use the computers really because I mean CS was playing on them, and we repeatedly asked them if we could like set up on computers that weren't being used or whatever to set things up, check it out, see how it's going. And apparently he didn't let us or whatever because he's shady. But so we didn't really have any computer interaction the first day we got there. So yeah, it was pretty much just a social night, seeing your friends, teammates, whatnot. Yeah, I just hung out with my team really the first night, and then kind of saw a few other people as the LAN went on.
Cool. I heard something about Hard Blue. Everyone was introducing themselves with their first name and stuff, and then someone introduced themselves to Anonymous, or Hard Blue introduced himself to, I think it was to Anonymous. It might have been to O-Played, and just said, "I'm Hard Blue," and didn't say anything else. Like that's what I heard.
I don't know.
So did he introduce himself as Hard Blue to you, or not? Do you already know him anyway? Do you ever care?
I met him last time we were at LAN,
Okay.
I think, but I don't think we ever really went into like a formal invitation like that. But it wouldn't really strike me as.
That's fair enough, really. So let's get into the games. You set up on Saturday. Any PC problems, really? Like standard ESEA? Oh, my PC's broken straight off the bat.
The computers were really good. There we had like Alienware Auroras or some shit. So, in terms of running TF2 at like a high FPS, it really had no problem doing that. I would say that it was kind of weird, like loading TF2 and launching it, and like loading maps and stuff was really slow compared to other computers, and really weird. Like you would launch.
We're not trying to sell the PCs. It doesn't really matter. I'm joking,
Yeah.
of course.
But I mean, you would launch TF2 and like I don't know, it would just show like the title screen. It'd be like weird shit, and then sometimes it would fuck up. You had to like restart TF2 and end a process, whatever.
Welcome to my world. That's my TF2 like all the time.
I don't know, but for the most part, it was really good. Yeah, didn't really have any problems like last time. I think one person crashed on our team once, and it was CD, but it didn't take time to get it set up.
That's fair enough. Like, how were the 120 hertz? Do you have one normally, or?
Yeah, I have a normally, but I think this monitor might have been bigger with 120.
Okay.
It looked like it, but it was a really good monitor. Yeah, it had like a huge stand, adjustable, and everything.
Cool. So you played HRG in the first round. Should we go through the results? Maybe we'll do the results at the end once we've talked about the Saturday and stuff. So you played HRG in the first round. Did you have anything you planned before you went into the game? Did you guys discuss it on the Friday night, or did you not really care and just assumed you'd get through HRG, breeze it through?
I mean, to be honest, we didn't really go in with like that big of a strategy into HRG. Cause we kind of just assumed that we would beat them. I mean, no like hard feelings for them, but I mean, they were a new team and we were.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be. No fluff here, mate. You can just slag them all off. Omar got 2 frags on bad lads.
2 and 12 in the opening map. Yeah.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I guess that's what we used to to rationalize that. We really didn't, go over much. Kind
That's
of
cool.
assumed we just wrecked them. So.
Yeah, yeah. And then did you all sit around and watch the mix-up game versus Experiment, or did you just bugger off, go grab some food and stuff?
Which one?
The upper bracket game, the game to play against you.
The play.
The
Yeah.
lower
No, I
bracket.
think we watched that for the most part.
Okay.
I think we got food, but we caught most of it, I think.
Cool, cool. And then, of course, you had to play in an upper bracket game, which was... so let's talk about it from your point of view. So, first of all, you're playing Snakewater. Your best map, I murked instead of you, or ringed instead of you the day before. It didn't go very well, needless to say. I don't know whether you heard about that. No,
I was checking. Actually, I was home while you were ringing or fuck, and I checked the frags as the night went on. You had like a lot of frags, I think, in one of them.
In a couple of the maps I was doing alright.
Yeah, in a couple of them, but I think one of them I saw you like at the bottom with like fucking like 2 or some shit.
I think in one of the games I had for 15 minutes I was on like 1 or 2 frags, and then the last 5 minutes of the game I got 14 or something and out-fragged someone else because of it, and I was like, lol, how did that happen?
Yeah, I think that's the one I saw.
Yeah, I was like, but yeah, so we played Snakewater against Experiment, and we ended up losing 5-4, I think. So the guys might not have been feeling confident going to Snakewater against Mix-Up. Did anybody say anything like that? Were you guys just getting in the zone and just getting into the game?
We're usually pretty confident about Snakewater. I think we all agree that it's like pretty much our best map. We're not exactly the greatest team in scrims. We kind of just lose them all most of the time, so we don't really take much from that.
Before as well. Like,
But
it was Tyrone that told me that the other day as well. So yeah, that's fair enough. And then of course you smashed it. You and Banny together smashed it. Were people complimenting you guys, or was it a team performance, or what?
I mean, most people I feel like just thought Banny did really, really well. After the match was over, I think Sickness came up to me and said that it was really sick, like what I did and the score ratio, whatever.
Well, like I
Banny that everybody loved.
Yeah, like when I looked at the frags and stuff at the end, and I casted the game. What did I cast? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I casted that game. Like, no, I didn't actually. I didn't cast that game. I was watching it on the Seabed stream, and I looked at the frags, and like, fair enough, Banny sat there on 33 with a ridiculous amount of damage, but you're sat there on 27 as well, and together the two of you out-fragged Mix-Up. Together, just the two of you out-fragged Mix-Up by 4 frags. Like, that's how ridiculous it was. Like, so, and then you move on to Granary. Was it Granary? Yeah.
Granary was first, I think, wasn't it? Or was
No, Snakewater was first. Snakewater was definitely first. So, in your mind, like, how do you predict yourselves to go up in Granary against Mix-Up? Like before that game?
I don't think we're very good at Granary in the first place. So I definitely thought that we were going to get... it was going to be a pretty hard game to win, just because their heavy classes are like incredible, minus Banny being like the best dome in the game or whatever. But their soldiers are like much, I feel like have much bigger impact on Granary middle at least, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. So we usually lose the middles, and then since Granary is so hard to push back and to keep, we usually just get steamrolled through if we get,
Yeah, talking about Granary, I have one gripe with American Granary. What is it with every team swapping somebody to heavy when you're attacking last?
I literally have no idea. I don't know. I guess... Well, I would like to go sniper usually when I push like Granary last or whatever, but I mean Tyrone doesn't like his scouts switching to sniper or whatever. He has some like thing about that. So usually it's Mackie that comes up with something like stupid to do, like either go sniper or go heavy.
Okay.
But I don't know. Heavy seemed to be working for that entire LAN, so I don't really blame them.
Because every single team did it. They always had a heavy pushing Granary last, and I was always sat there scratching my head going, I don't understand how this... Why?
I think we try to push them out like as fast as we can without the other team noticing, so we can get like as close as possible. And then the heavy's at like 450 or whatever you haven't even popped over yet, and then you can just run right through.
Yeah, it just felt really weird when I was casting it. But so you unfortunately lost that, and you went into the most mental Badlands game I have ever seen, and as a map, probably the most intense map I've ever seen. And wow, like if you haven't watched that game, guys, do go watch that. It was ridiculous, and it was just like so backwards and forwards on Badlands, and Like, so, what do you think going into Badlands? Is that a map you're confident on to beat Mix Up?
I like Badlands. I think it's probably my favorite map. I would say that it's more, demo and scout oriented than Soldier. I mean, Soldier obviously has an impact too, but it's not as one-sided as it is on Greenery.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that's a better option for us. And also, it's really like lenient with like pushing and defending and stuff. So like we can, that shit happens where it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like clutch, that kind of stuff. And I think we're really good at that, our team, compared to other teams. So.
Well, you guys tried to throw that game away. I hope you know. What were you thinking in the middle of that game? Was it hectic as can be, LAN hectic, everyone screaming and shouting, and not a lot of comms getting through, that sort of thing? Or were you guys calm?
Yeah, it was pretty hectic, I would say.
Yeah, I could tell. That's why it was such a weird.
It was like so many pushes. Like toward the end, like people were just dying, going and dying,
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I personally, I thought like when you were 4-3 down. Okay, this is before the last round, which is obviously a lot of people have in their minds, but I just have in my mind CB, because it's his first LAN, like seemed like he lost it completely in that round. He ran in 3 individual times pretty much alone and just died. And I PM'd C-Bear at one of them, which was where the point was like over half cap middle, but you lost a scout and CB who pushed in alone trying to cap it against 6 players for some reason. And then I typed to C-Bear even on Steam like, yeah, that's GG, I'm calling it now. And then they get on Spire, and then you and Mackie come up with this like magical back cap that it came out of nowhere.
I think it was me and Tyrone actually. I think it was
you and Tyrone.
Yeah.
Tyrone on the back cap. Jesus.
That was really crazy. He pushed in, and then I said, "All right, Ty, I'm coming with you." And then, I don't know. I think I died literally as the point got.
Yeah.
Capped. Oh yeah, I was on the edge,
so
like trying to get as far away, and I just died as soon as it capped. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So do you remember that play then? Like to
yeah, I definitely do.
Without that, you would have lost the game because they had full advantage pushing last, sort of thing.
That was the second most clutch one. And then like at the end when it was 4-4 and they were pushing in, and Mackie went spy to try to like get a pick, and he died. I thought it was over. Like they had Uber and we had no Uber and we had 5 people up, and I was like, oh.
Wait, well, when Banny hits 6 pipes and does 7 stickies that do damage as well, that's like literally 3,000 damage defending last. I'm pretty sure
Banny saved that shit. He just killed everything. It was crazy. I can't believe we held that. But.
It was ridiculous. And then the pushback as well, which meant you end up going in, favourites into the final effectively through the upper bracket, and you had to end up watching Mix Up versus Experiment, which you could tell Mix Up were mad. They did not see. They just were like, "Fuck that! How did we lose that game?" and just rolled.
Well, actually, they were probably more mad too because at the end of that, Mackie is he has quite a personality, and he just screamed like fucking. I forgot what he screamed. He was like, "How's that, you fucking faggots?" or some shit like that. And then like the whole LAN like kind of just like went silent, and like everybody was like laughing at what he was saying and shit. It was hilarious. And then Harblue looked pretty shaken up. I think everybody looked pretty depressed on that team when we did that, and with Mackie's outburst at the end too. So I don't know. I expected them to do a lot worse actually, because I thought they were flustered. I got to that definitely.
What are you laughing at, Cadus?
Oh man, am I not muted? Sorry. I'm fucking... You guys have been talking for a while, man. I forgot I was even doing this.
Yeah, we are kind of just having a private conversation. Let's talk about the final then. Let's get to it. Well, do you guys have any questions then?
Why didn't you win, man? What the fuck?
Well, yeah.
Why didn't we win?
Let's get to it. All right. What the fuck went wrong?
All right.
I watched a 5-hour VOD to see you win, and then you just got destroyed.
Dude, we got fucking raped. I don't know what the fuck. I think it was, honestly, I don't want to like point any fucking fingers or whatever, but I definitely think it was or Tyrone and like the whole like Uber situation, our pushes, etc. were fucking horrible.
I felt like Tyrone had a weak LAN. Compared to how he has done in the past, and I felt like the last couple of maps, when it got to like that 3 or 4 hour mark, I felt like Sizer kind of just lost for plot. Like his normal sort of smart clean up gameplay went out the window, and he just kind of went into DM it. And when you go into DM it against Mix Up have the players to just tear you apart.
Yeah, I don't know. Tyrone didn't seem to know where he was fucking going on any Uber, or how to get any kills, I guess, was the main issue. I remember one time on Gully Wash, did you see that, where I think it was 3-3 or 4-4. No, it was definitely 3-3. And like there were 8 minutes left, and we could have pushed in to cap it with like 5 of their players up and 5 of ours up. Hard Blue was dead. They had no buffs, and we had Uber, and we somehow lost it. So that was fucking really stupid.
I remember that. It felt like your players all went in to go fight one-on-ones, but you all jumped away from CB, so Uber did nothing.
Yeah.
And then you beat some of the one-on-ones and lost some of the others. And then none of you even looked at the heavy, dropped down, and you all died to the heavy, who was in the same spot as every other push you had done.
I said like
Enigma got so many frags on that.
Pretty sure like 4 people called that shit. Like heavy in the alcove thing on the right, heavy in the right, heavy in the right, and then nobody seemed to kill him. I remember I pushed in, we wiped them all at middle. I pushed in to kill Hard Blue at last, like while the other players were even like spawning, so he was out of the whole fight. I pushed down the left, I killed one other player, I think, and then died. So it was 5-4, 5v4, and we somehow lost. I don't know what the fuck happened. It was, I think Tyrone even went for the medic, too, when he spawned. I was like, Ty, dude, kill the fucking players that can kill you. Oh my god.
Just, land finals, isn't it? You know, it gets to people, and they just screw up, hey, Cadus.
It definitely does. I'm just glad I'm not one of them.
I'm just looking at some of the stats from like Gully Wars now to try and like remind myself, and it's like CB had 5 more Ubers than Hard Blue across the map, and
you just can't do anything with it.
So, how gutted? What did you feel at the end of the game?
At the end of what? The whole entire
whole you've spent 4.5, 5 hours playing TF2 in a final.
It felt like shit.
Really?
I went over and I took it in stride though. I mean, I went over to them, I shook their hands, nice game, whatever.
Yeah.
You didn't do
Did you get abuse? Did Harb give you any?
No, Harb didn't. Well, I mean, I'm kind of chill with most of the people on Mix-Up. Like, I'm friends with like Moose, Enigma, and everybody else I'm pretty cool with. So they didn't give me anything. I don't know if they gave any of the other players anything, but they weren't too loud when they won. I mean, they were happy that they won, but they weren't too loud.
Well, to be honest, after 5 hours of TF2, you're just exhausted anyway.
Just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
I have a really, really important question. Okay. Please tell me Tyler stole the trophy again.
I think give it to him?
I have no idea. Maybe they gave it to him.
Just to prevent it. Just like.
Yeah, I walked out of the room while they were doing like the final interview or whatever.
Who was it? Someone asked me, was Sizer really, really annoyed at all these crashes? Like, he PM'd C-Bear.
Oh, yeah.
And it seemed like it's really angry.
That's something that I forgot about. It wasn't really a PC issue, but it was a network issue. Like, it was really stupid. We kept freezing our side of... It wasn't a pause because we were crashing in TF2 or whatever, but our side of the network was just freezing. Like, our entire line of computers would just freeze. And the other side was perfectly okay, and they would just kill all of us over and over again. It was like, and we kept like yelling at ESEA, like, "What are you doing?" Like, it's not even fair. Like, maybe if it kept happening over and over again to both sides, whatever, find the issue, but it's not a big problem. But it just kept happening to like 5 or 6 of our players, and maybe 1 of the other players.
Yeah, I think it happened. There was one time like the upper bracket final on Viaduct, like the opening round, where everyone froze on your team except for Tyrone, and Mix-Up just killed you all on Viaduct middle. Took it, and it was just kind of like, that really fucking sucks if you're Quantic, because there's nothing you can do. You just got screwed.
Yeah, it's really. And then we yell at them, and like, they're like, "Oh, I don't know, bro. It's a conspiracy." Like, fuck off. Like, fix your shit. Get someone who is intelligent and knows something about computers.
Get Langan.
Yeah, get Langan. So dumb.
Yeah. So, did this oh no, is it Mackie versus Anonymous? Is that who it was? Who was it?
No,
Tyrone versus Anonymous? Yeah. Did this happen?
No, I mean, Anonymous is honestly like 5'4". Skinny, like, twig arms, so I mean, even if like he really, really, really pissed Tyrone off, I don't really think he'd do anything about that.
Was there any drama at the event? That's the
most. What about Sizer versus Platinum? Because everyone saw the post on NATF2.
No, I mean, actually, one time we were walking outside of the hotel, and Platinum was walking in as we were walking out, and I was with like Sizer and Tyrone and a few others. And I think they kind of ignore each other at that point. I mean, I'm friends with Platinum, and I was like, "Hey, whatever," shook his hand. I think they kind of just passed each other without saying anything, but I think at one point Sizer congratulated him for a round 1 or something. So I think that kind of got
Really minor victory.
I've got a question about the game. So on that granary in the grand final, you're 3-0 up. Okay. Banny has 16 more frags at the halftime than Platinum. Right,
Platinum on
Plat's
one
on
frag.
1 frag at the halftime. How do you throw that away and lose 5,
No.
whatever it was, 5-3, 5-4?
no idea. No
5-4.
idea, honestly. It's just I felt like I didn't really know what was happening with our like whatever teammate was like lacking. I had no idea because I felt like I was doing like pretty okay or pretty
Alright.
good the entire land. So I mean, like when I killed like 2 things or I traded with something and then like our entire team went down, I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know, like, I have no idea what's happening.
It's like looking at the stats here, like again, like the frags are always even. Like Banny was 2 for 1, you were like 28 and 19, but the frags are still completely even and the damage is still completely even. Like it just seems like they were getting the better of the frags that they got.
Yeah, I think actually on Granary, I think Granary, we had like 3,000 more damage than them overall at the end, and they had like more kills maybe. or something.
You've got like 6,000 more damage, and you've got like a couple more kills than them. Like the kills are basically even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, that's what I think it is. It's just like Tyrone, like does a lot of damage. So like I don't know if he was that far ahead of Tyler or whatever, but for the most part, he does a lot of damage. But like it's negligible damage. You know, it's like
He
that shit.
did 3k more than Tyler.
Yeah,
but
it's just that shit you spam around corners. You know, like
it's just
super
like
rough.
it's nothing. Like yeah,
Immediate.
you're hitting the same number of shots because the DM is negligible.
It's just it's fluff damage. It's stupid.
Who would you say had like from your point of view had like a good land and like a bad land? Because I felt like Enigma and Relic went
Good
huge.
land. Yeah, Enigma. I think Enigma, Moose, and Relic, all of them went really huge.
I was gonna say Moose went huge. I
Yeah,
felt like he
and-
had to.
Enigma hit like a ton of fucking shots and like 1v1s that like I've never seen from him before. And Moose, like especially like in the last set, he was just on fire. Like, I mean, I would go in and trade something or kill something, and once I was behind and Moose knew I was behind, I was pretty much dead. So I just kind of accepted that. But yeah, I don't know. They all did really well. Moose, Enigma, Relic on Sniper, his debut was pretty good. Badland, I really don't know. I mean, according to everybody else, Omar, I have no idea. 2 and 12 on Badlands.
He had that one map, but then like was it one of the maps? I can't remember what it was, but he like outpointed the medic or whatever for like the entire map on like Viaduct or something. Like he had a beast map to make up for his 2 and 12.
Okay, well, I guess that absolves him from his sin. But I have no idea. I mean, another good player was Dummy. Definitely, Dummy did really well. The Snakewater map, he was leading in damage. I think he led in damage per minute for the whole entire land.
Cadis, do you wanna talk about Dummy quickly?
Doesn't he hate Dummy?
Yeah, Cadis thinks
I
Dummy's
don't hate.
awful.
I don't hate Dummy. I don't know. He's just so one-dimensional. Like as long as there's absolutely no pressure on him, he can hit pipes. He can hit stickies. But I don't know. Like I know Banny is obviously not really the fairest comparison, but he's just a good example of because there's a lot of demos that can play like this. Banny just does it like exceptionally well. Like where he just is continually putting pressure forward regardless of what's like on him. Like on a Badlands mid fight, if you see a soldier jump on Banny, he's dodging it and he's still spamming forward. He's still putting pressure on the other team. But if you see a soldier like on Dummy on a Badlands mid, he's just like hiding in a fucking corner until everything is gone. Then he's coming out and like spamming stickies at people looking like the opposite direction. I mean, if you can enable him, like get all the pressure off him, he's a good demo. But that's all he can do really, for me at least.
I don't know. I mean, I would admit that Dummy, he like extends a lot. Maybe he gets caught overextending a few times, and yeah, he definitely seems to get like focused in on without really realizing it. But he's a fucking beast in terms of DM. I remember he like hit like a bunch of really good air shots, good pipe air shots.
Yeah, he does. He does hit stuff.
He has
It's
his
just-
moments.
Yeah, it's just for me. He just can't like be aggressive when players like Banny can be, and I think he suffers because of it.
Whatever, shitty Euro. Whatever, man.
Hey man,
Whatever. You can't insult
Wow.
the golden boy of gaming, Katie. Come on.
what?
It's
I
the
don't even know
golden
what that
boy-
means.
it's
Dummy's the
golden
golden
of
boy.
gaming.
He's the golden
Is
boy
he?
of gaming. I heard C
This is-
there saying it.
This
a
is
lot,
some
so I've
inside
jumped on
joke
the
that I'm just
bandwagon.
completely
No,
not
it's
in
not
on.
a joke, dude. That's what he is.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Have you seen
Fair
his
enough.
Quake videos, dude? He's a monster.
I have not.
Well, check that shit out, okay?
I'll do it. I'll see how many dimensions he has in Quake.
Yeah, there you go. At least 3.
Right. Do you wanna let's talk about next season for Quantic, okay?
Yeah.
Mackie's
Is that-
gone. Definitely quit.
Mm.
Is that 100%?
Yeah, he's definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a recruitment thread for him looking for a fan scout spot in Open.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Tyrone likes to pride himself on the ability to bring Mackie back when he says he's gonna quit, because he said he's gonna quit like season after fucking season for like 5 seasons. But I think he's finally done this time. He can't scrim. He's living with his girl. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Has Sizer gone as well?
no, Sizer
Okay.
has plans of playing. Yeah.
Cool. Did I hear? I've heard rumor of someone else leaving. Then I might have got it wrong. Is anybody
yeah,
else?
CB. Yeah, CB's,
CB's gone, okay.
CV's got
Married
married.
this-
and-
Yep. So what's the plan? Any like plans in the works or players you're trialing or what?
Yeah, I guess I can just tell you. I think we got Uv on Medic
Okay.
to play.
I think I've had that
He used to
before.
play
Yeah.
Scout, didn't he?
Yeah,
was-
yeah,
yeah, the
scout
old
for
Czech 6.
Czech 6 is, flawless season or whatever. For Spromer, I have no idea. Tyrone has a few in mind, but I keep telling him that I don't want to play with them. So we'll see.
Who don't you want to play with? Go on, give us names.
It's classified, dude.
They're not going to
That's
listen
bad
to this
information.
anyway, so you might as well say.
Yeah, no one's gonna listen to this. Come on, it's a Euro podcast.
And-
Hey, you guys only got like 50 fucking viewers on this, huh?
Ouch.
Struggling, huh? Jesus.
It's because we've been talking about the bullshit NA scene for like 3/4 of an hour.
Yeah, everyone's gone because we're chatting about fucking ESEA.
Yeah. I don't know. We have a few in the works, like Panic. Tyrone wants to try out. Who else? I keep giving him good names. Like I want to play with Hero. I want to try out. Maybe a few
Hero's sick.
roamers that are leaving. Yeah, he's sick. His DM is crazy. And I want to play with a few other roamers maybe if they're leaving their teams and invite this season. Tyrone maybe has plans for fucking Visitor. I don't want to play Visitor.
I thought Visitor was good from
Kate is probably knows
from my
Visitor.
limited knowledge.
Played in NA.
I know Visitor. Like
Yeah.
the first pug NA I ever played, he added me to friends afterwards. And I was like, he was just like sucking up for like 6 months after that, and then he got like in like a decent IM team, and suddenly he was like the most arrogant cunt you've ever fucking known.
That's what he does, dude. Yeah.
I was like, I first meet him, and he's like, "Oh my god, Cadus, you're pretty good at this game, man. You're pretty good at this game, bro." And then it's like he gets slightly good, and he's like, "Oh, fucking shitty Euro. What the fuck?" And
Yeah,
he's like,
no,
"Alright, bro."
he's a big coattail rider, a big dick sucker. I don't know. He's,
Yeah, man, he always just seemed a bit like it.
but yeah.
What about any of the? Who was it? The old Ducks soldier. Who was the old Ducks roamer?
Doggles? Ghost
Doggles. Could have been Doggles. Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost Yama.
I don't know. Any of those
Uh,
folded teams from this season? Possible soldiers.
Maybe. I mean, I have to talk to Tyrone. Tyrone likes to use all this imaginary lingo to classify how good the soldiers are at Roamer.
Okay.
So, like dynamic, or two-dimensional, or something stupid. So, yeah, I have to talk to him. I have no idea. I don't really want anybody that he wants. So,
Okay, well, let's wrap this up anyway. Thank you very much for joining us and chatting about ESEA from your point of view. Anyway, it was pretty cool. Unluckily for you, you lost in like one of the longest
wait.
fucking games
Can I
ever.
just-
one of the most
stop everything
embarrassing series of events. Yeah,
I'll stop everything for a second. We've completely overlooked the fact that at the beginning, at our episode the week before, we had Seaver on. We all called who we thought were
Oh,
going to win,
shit, yeah.
and I called Mix Up.
Oh,
Everyone
wow.
wrote me off. Seaver was like, "Well, it's not going to be Mix Up." I didn't even remember my name. It's like someone could Mix Up, but they're wrong. I was like, "All right then, right, whatever. Show me up." And no, fucking called it.
I don't remember that. He must be making it up.
Hey,
I
what should
would-
you take out of this, Clockwork? Is me, Seabear, and Cadus all had faith in you. Zabby didn't, so you shouldn't.
I had
shouldn't
5
like
fucking
Zabby.
hours worth of faith, bro. I watched you lose 4 fucking maps. 4 maps. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 maps in a row I watched. I was like, nah, eventually. I can't. It's the 4th map. Like, surely
Cadus
now.
refused. Like he told me not to tell him what the score was, so he could watch 5 hours of VODs just to try and watch you
Fucking tell
lose.
me next time. Just fucking
I
tell
missed
me.
out on eating that entire
Oh, what the
afternoon.
Fuck, dude. I thought I did pretty well.
I casted
mean-
5 maps, 4 of them you lost.
I I thought I did pretty well
See
though.
what-
At least I didn't fucking let you down or whatever. Just blame it on fucking Tyrone or something. Okay?
So when are you gonna sit down and watch those VODs, or will you never?
Never.
Forget
Never.
about it for the rest. Just
I've-
like
I've watched a few STVs, but only from my perspective. I don't really
You're
want
not doing
to
like a
see-
team analysis or anything to figure out where it went wrong.
I mean, I
grab
don't know.
yourself an
that would,
MG
that would be up
video.
to Benny and Tyrone. I don't really. I don't
PM
really-
Bite and ask him to do one for you.
Bite will do a
Yeah, there you go. Bite can do one.
20-hour review.
He does an hour and a half long reviews for half an hour's worth of our matches. Like sometimes he's done 2 of them so far, and it's fucking hilarious. Like they're actually quite good though. I do have to say. I'll give him
Have
credit.
an hour and a half free.
Yeah.
season 2.
Yeah, I think somebody on NATF2 wanted Bite to go over like Benny's second day demos or first day demos because he poured up on Snakewater. So
Then maybe Bite could realise how much difference it makes if you hit your pipes.
I guess.
Right, let's wrap it up. Cadis is fucking bitching. Let's go. Right.
Wanna eat, man.
Before you go, let's have
Dude, I wanna
let's have
eat
some
too.
shout outs, Clockworks. Go. Shout outs.
Okay. Shout out to everybody at LAN. Everybody was pretty cool, pretty chill. Shout out to Moose, Dummy, Enigma, my team. Shout out to all the other teams I've been on, I guess, who I let down this fucking LAN by losing.
Oh.
That's pretty much it. Shout out to Cadis for being fucking shit in Euro.
Well, if you heard the rumor that there might be a Euro mix for Invite next season, we'll have to wait and see.
Oh god, why don't you just fucking throw in the towel now while you're at it? I think I'm 0-16 anyway, it's not gonna be.
Right, that it for your shout outs? You got any more?
No, that's it.
Shout out to Razor possibly? Your
Oh,
Razor
Jesus
Insight
Christ.
videos?
Yeah, Shout out to Quantic for fucking giving us $0 to go to LAN. Do you know? I got $9 winning for fucking winning LAN. that's like fucking like €7 that I just
That's
got.
worse than not getting nothing.
How fucking bad is that? Yeah, it's horrible.
What are you going to
Oh
buy?
my God, dude.
Burger.
So wait, how did it end up like that?
Because we had to like half fund ourselves and half ask ECA to like give us some money so we can even get there because
You could have pretended.
or whatever. So we just kept like deducting prices at the end, and it came up to like $9. And ECA wasn't giving cash either, so they were only giving checks. I was like, just fucking keep. I don't want it. I don't want to cash a $9 check.
You
Such
should
a
have
joke.
pretended you couldn't go and just got like XTV to pay for you. Because that seems to be the new way to get to LAN.
I fucking hope so. I kept telling Benny or Sizer I'm going to join Bro next season so we can get some funding from XTV. To get some money for
I
me.
saw your tag and I was like, obviously quit. I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest, after that LAN event. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, let's wrap it up. Cadis, anything? No, awesome.
Do better
Dabby,
next time.
I've got 2 things. Another quarantine your faggots man up. And also an actual shout out. Can anyone Div 1 and above, Div 1 and Prem, start uploading STV demos, and me, Greg, maybe Cadis will throw me in there. We'll start doing like post-production casts of it, send us more content for TF2 since we're up and we're like. But start uploading the STV demos, and we can start making content for it. So, for example, Excello tomorrow, upload all demos of good games from there.
Yeah, what's with you faggot Euros and not uploading STV?
You're all too
Basically,
fucking lazy.
yeah, no one
Fake
bothers
likes.
because there's nearly always a VOD and people think that's enough.
I love watching VODs.
I'm going to shout out to Clockwork. Thanks for joining us, man. Shout out to your second place at LAN. Congratulations, mate. You beat Experiment and you beat HRG.
We did
Applause.
it. Yep. Oh, fuck you.
And then, wait, it's not third. It's not TCM. So there you go.
Yeah. I
And
guess.
Where everyone's
shout out
Cypher and
to-
TF2 better than Bite.
we were the only team at LAN to ever lose 2 best-of-3s, by the way.
oh,
The only
congrats,
team ever.
mate.
We set
Oh.
the precedent. Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone's the best at something.
Surely every team that gets knocked out loses 2 best-of-3s. I'm just putting that out there. Surely HRG played you and lost a best-of-3 and then played Experiment
they
and
would
lost a best-of-3.
only, I guess if they didn't play 3 maps, if you know what I mean, like they're the only team to lose 2 that played 3 maps, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he means the grand final, but that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? Let's finish.
You can fucking go,
off.
Cadis. Right,
Walk away.
leaving
Shout out
later
to
bros.
the casters over the weekends. Like we had six casters, 7 casters on all the time, 2 streamers. It was pretty big setup from XTV, but it was awesome. Shout out to the other stream, the VODs that I watched from the Sea Bear stream, because their stream was interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it was still fun casting with Reaver and Eckstein at points. Yeah, and thank you very much for joining us, Clockwork. It's been good fun tonight. We've done quite a big one, I think. But let's just wrap it up.
Yeah, please. I want to fucking eat, dude. Let's go.
Shut it
Right.
down.
Cheers for joining us, guys. See us next week, Sunday night, preferably. Hopefully, Zebo, give us some news, and we'll see you then.
Fold another team, Zebo. Why don't you? Is
Well.
Zebo good?
Man, me and Clockwork were having a deep conversation.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him since before LAN.
You can't take that away from us.
Like, you know what it is. You know what the problem is, right? Clockwork's interacting with me too much, and he's catching the only come second curse.
Yep. No, that won't stay though. I'll never
Yeah,
be as bad as you guys.
You're not allowed to comment on a thing. So you do another comment saying, "Oh, another cup that Infuse can lose to Epsilon anymore." 'Cause you